Hello again. I'm Tim, that firefighter from Minnesota. It's been over 2.5 years since my initial cancer diagnosis for a rare form of melanoma and almost 6 months since my final treatment with immunotherapy. Historically, melanoma is difficult to treat because it doesn't respond well to chemotherapy and radiation. However, the new classes of immunotherapy unlocked a path to successful treatment. In my case, I started with 4 rounds of dual immunotherapy infusions beginning in December of 2018 using ipilimumab and nivulomab. Then I transitioned to nivulomab alone. I received monthly infusions of nivulomab from April of 2019 through December 2020 when I had my final infusion. The first year of treatment went remarkably well, as my primary tumor quickly shrank and seemed to disappear. It felt crazy to have an aggressive form of cancer, receive treatment, and not miss time from work. It's true that I had quarterly visits to the Mayo Clinic, but I was able to schedule most of those days using vacation rather than sick leave. Cancer almost always creates fatigue, and that was true for me. I learned that the answer to fatigue was to exercise, so I continued doing cardio and working out with weights. In fact, by the end of the first year of treatment, I felt stronger than I had in several decades. Then the coronavirus pandemic arrived during the second year of my treatment. My health club closed due to COVID-19 restrictions, so I had to figure out a way to exercise at home. However, I started to experience shoulder pain that was mild at first, but got worse over time. By the end of 2020, I stopped lifting weights and bought a spinning bike to do cardio work. This was also about the same time that I started what I call connecting the dots backwards, which is another way of saying that sometimes things are much clearer with 20/20 hindsight. My shoulders continued to be painful and were aching even without lifting weights. So I scheduled a visit with an orthopedic surgeon. They found that I had some early osteoarthritis, but overall nothing obviously wrong with my shoulders. Shortly after that visit, my knees started to ache and swell. So some days the knee pain was pretty intense, and there were also a few days when my knees, shoulders, and elbows all ached at the same time. I decided it was time to do some research, so I started searching for connections between immunotherapy treatment and arthritis. It didn't take long to find studies linking inflammatory arthritis to immunotherapy and nivulomab in particular. I decided it was time to get a referral to rheumatology to see if there was a way to manage my joint pain. At this point, I'm not looking for a magic cure for pain, but I do hope to find a way to manage it. So I now have a rheumatologist as part of my treatment team. The doctor reviewed x-rays of my shoulders and knees and confirmed that I have some early osteoarthritis, but nothing unexpected for someone my age and life experience. The good news was learning that this doctor appears to be really dialed in on inflammatory arthritis and an immunotherapy treatment. Our first step was a short tapering blast of prednisone to see what would happen. Holy crap! Within a couple days of starting the taper, I found my pain gone and my full range of motion returning. I call it connecting the dots backward because I was quickly learning that things I chalked up to growing old were actually side effects of the immunotherapy treatment. I thought my stiff neck was caused from sleeping wrong. I thought my shoulder pain was caused from being a firefighter and a lifetime of lifting heavy weights. On the other hand, my knee swelling and pain, that was pretty recent, and I wondered if I was overdoing riding on the spinning bike. So easy to think my aches and pains were from getting older. Maybe some, but not all. So prednisone is a great drug short term, but not a long-term solution. I had a follow-up visit with rheumatology where I confirmed that inflammatory syndrome caused by immunotherapy cancer treatment has some things in common with both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. It might be an oversimplification to explain it this way, but treatment revved up my immune system to fight cancer. My immune system not only destroyed the melanoma, but also started acting like arthritis as it caused inflammation in my joints. So the next challenge is finding a way to calm down my immune system and manage my joint pain. Because inflammatory syndrome presents with symptoms like rheumatoid arthritis, the doctor suggested treatment with methotrexate. Because methotrexate is the first choice for managing symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis. It takes about 3 to 4 months in order to establish therapeutic levels of methotrexate, so we included a second tapering blast with prednisone to address the immediate effects of the inflammatory syndrome. The hope was that as the prednisone tapered down, it'd give the methotrexate a chance to build up in my system. Currently, I'm a little past the halfway point for establishing therapeutic levels of methotrexate in my system. I'm still experiencing joint pain. Some days it's mild and some days it's intense, especially in my shoulders. My knees have, for the most part, done well, although some afternoons can be a little uncomfortable. I've been using over-the-counter medications to deal with some of the pain, as I'm hoping that with time the methotrexate will address the underlying inflammation and reduce the periods of pain. I'm scheduled for a return trip to the Mayo Clinic for another follow-up appointment. I'm confident that melanoma will no longer be a health issue for me, but we'll confirm that with quarterly PET CT scans. So I guess the irony for me has been how easy the first 2 years were after my initial cancer diagnosis. The past 6 months have been much more difficult due to what I now believe to be side effects from the immunotherapy treatment. So the journey continues, and we'll see how it goes. After all, in light of successful immunotherapy treatment, I'm pretty happy to be on this side of the grass. So if I deal with a little bit of pain and we figure out a way to manage that, then so be it, and life moves forward. So once again, I'll try to keep you in the loop as we move forward. Thank you.